Welcome to this episode of Lovebytes Live with Dr. Girish Kumar. He is the founder and Chief Healing Officer at Human Connect.
She is Jyotsna Ramachandran, my wife and CEO of Human Connect.
So today's topic is actually very interesting because a lot of people are not even aware that they're going through that problem. Right? So it's all about how do you identify abuse in your relationship? And if you are going through an abusive relationship, then what can you do about it? That's what we're going to be talking about. You may be wondering, I'm not even in a relationship. Why should I even watch this video? It is very important for you also to watch because you may help your friend or your sibling to identify that they are in an abusive relationship because they may not know. They may not be having this privilege of watching a video like this. So you may be that guardian angel in their life to protect them. So whether you're there in a relationship or not, please watch this important video. It may help and save someone's life.
Yes, Jyotsna, as you told, it's very important that nowadays it's being very commonly and people's self-esteem is being questioned because of that. So I want personally everyone to feel that it's our uh, the need of an hour.
Yeah.
So nowadays people are getting into so much of toxicity in their mind. This comes very important topic now. So I will start like this. The fight is different in a relationship and abuse is different. So people are getting confused whether the fighting is abuse. The fighting is not abuse. Fighting is we do for fixing the relationship. Abuse is very clear to put someone down. And by putting someone down, you create something else in the life. And that's where the abuse is always to harm someone and get the pleasure out of it, and they will have something other agenda beyond the marriage. So that's where that abuse comes. If you want to add anything to it.
Yeah, absolutely, Girish. A lot of times people keep denying to themselves for years that every marriage has fights. So I'm also fighting with my spouse. But you need to understand if what you're doing is really fighting or is it being abused. Are you abusing your spouse or are you being abused? There is a lot of difference between getting abused and having a fight.
So
fight is something that happens everywhere,
yes.
right? Like even Girish and I fight almost every day.
The fight is like a healthy part in a relationship.
Yeah, because
so
of difference of opinion, you want
yes,
to
correct. That's the
bridge
word.
the gap between the two opinions, and that's why you want to prove your point and keep arguing. That is different. But you're not doing it with the intention to prove that the other person is wrong and put them down.
So mainly abuse, Jyotsna, it is like there will be a physical abuse. Sometimes there will be a sexual abuse. Sometimes it was emotional abuse we have. So, a broad range. So we should understand that what is the abuse I am into it, and or as Jyotsna told, we should be the angel for others to see how the abuse is there in their life. Most of the time, we will not even know we are being abused in a relationship.
Yeah.
So that's why I can say the signs in an abuse, like physical abuse. So tell me, Jyotsna, how you will see that a physical abuse it's happening.
So if you are being physically abused, you will obviously know. Last night I was slapped or I was pushed against the wall or an object was thrown on me. All this is not fighting. Okay, like you're not kids to do that. So if somebody is physically harming you, that is physical abuse.
So now the signs we want you to see that it will be like swollen eyes or
what
black.
Girish is saying is for you to identify abuse in your friend. Like a friend may not come and tell you, yesterday my partner hit me.
Yes.
But you as a friend or an office colleague can identify some of the
identify
things.
like that. Mark over here, or suddenly they put some injury and they have bandage. They will say that I fall in the step or I slipped. All those things. So you should understand that something is going wrong, or you will see some hit here or some cut here. So somewhere all these things are the signs of
sprain in their hands.
Sprain in their hands. Some hands will be twisted, or they will see that one leg is they are not able to walk properly. So all this, somewhere they will say that stomach is paining. All these things, maybe it is an abuse. So when you see that some people our relationship is not right, you should see that that's all the signs, and ask them not directly. You should indirectly ask, anything I can help you, or what I can do, because that moment they are not ready to disclosure all these
Yeah.
things to anyone. That's how that mind works. They don't want to talk about this to anyone. So as an agent, we are there to help them.
I
And
think if this happens in an office setting, and that person is not even willing to talk to you, you can
yes,
always talk to the HR about it. That I
Mm.
suspect that my friend is going through this. Will you
yes,
be able to intervene? Or if it's happening to your neighbor, you're hearing some screams and all that, you can pick the phone and call the domestic abuse helpline, and they will come and see what if they really need help.
yes.
Now let's talk about emotional abuse. Now the
Mm.
thing with emotional abuse is these are very difficult to identify even if you are getting abused.
Yes.
You may think, oh, I'm feeling sad, but it can actually be a sign of emotional abuse.
So first sign of emotional abuse will be like you will lose your sleep.
Hmm.
Okay, you will not mentally that you will not able to sleep. Something is someone told something that is putting you down. There over a period of time you will see that the moment they say something, you are being abused constantly. Second, we will feel that we are not able to eat the food properly, the food which we like, and the digestion system will be a problem. So all these things, irregular thing will be happening. Suddenly, you will be angry on small things. So that means you should go behind and see what is that, who told what to me that I am not able to get out of it.
Exactly. Or your personality may start changing. Like you may be a
Yes.
very bold person.
Mm.
Suddenly you will start apologizing for everything.
Yes, that will happen often. So when they have been of you, they will be like losing the self-esteem. They will go into the shell, and then they will not do the things which they are regular at. Or, for example, they a person who is like sharp 6 o'clock go to the gym, they will not do that. If they are going to the yoga, they will not do that. Or they will see that I have a routine work, they will not do. Your routines will be affected. So all those things are signs of emotional abuse.
Yeah. Or they may suddenly start taking drugs or alcohol.
This is again next way of this is next way. Okay, so that they detach themselves, they want to change the identity of themselves, and see that they are saying no to that energy, and they are going to the different. This is again, it's a very harmful way of going.
Yeah. There can also be some subtle signs, like because of being abused, this person wants to cut off contact from their own friends and family because they feel ashamed, right? Oh, my partner, maybe you've had a marriage of your own choice, you loved this person for 10 years and you got married. Now you don't want your own family to know that this person is abusing.
So again, they will be coming out of all the social media things. So
here's the warning, guys. Just because a friend is coming out of social media doesn't mean they're going through abuse. Maybe they're doing a digital detox or something. So be very careful, but this is a possibility, is what we're saying.
Yes, that's true. But even though anyone is they are going through, only they want to do the detox also, something that is they want to fix in their life, they will be doing. So again, all this point is for us first. Okay, so we should safeguard from others abusing us. So that from that you should go to a friend to go forward to get all that energy which we are required in that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first step in dealing with abuse is to identify these signs and symptoms, both physical and emotional, and accept that yes, I am being abused in a relationship. Or if you are the abuser, sometimes you never know, right? You yourself should realize that okay, I've been abusing my partner. That acceptance is the first thing. Mostly the abuser won't do that, but at least if you're getting abused, or if your friend is getting abused, the first step is to accept, come to terms with the fact that this is not normal fight. This is not acceptable. You cannot be beaten up. You cannot be emotionally threatened or manipulated. So that is the first thing.
So and getting help, Jyotsna, it's getting help. That's a very important. So when you are being abused, so understand that normally the mind does not work. You will be down. So it's like a thumb rule. So we should see that we should seek help. And help to how help is that talking to your friend or going to a professional therapist to understand why this is happening and why you are not able to handle it. It's very important for us to do that.
Yeah, I think the number one mistake people make in this situation is they know that they're being abused, they try to drag the abuser to the therapist or a counselor. They will not come. They will definitely not come, because now they will get exposed, right, that I am being hitting my partner. They will not do that. So don't try to go for couple therapy. That is not going to work. You have identified the problem. You want a better life, so it is your responsibility to first go and get therapy for yourself.
Yes. So that what Jyotsna is trying to say is that some people I had seen that they wait. Let my partner also come. Let's me go together. So people come to me after a long time. I'll say, why 1 year? What were you doing? So I was waiting for him to come. He will always say no. I don't want. Then and now it's point comes. Then only they will say that let me first go. So I'm saying that initially itself, see that if you have a problem, go and get it cleared, unless it is going to the depression and all those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's assume that you have gone for therapy and you are getting some, you are able to see some changes within yourself. Your therapist is even giving tips on how to deal with your spouse, and they may see difference in your behavior, and maybe they will agree to come for therapy. That is the ideal situation, where they see changes in you, and finally they also feel that, okay, let me also seek help. They realize that there is a problem. That would be ideal. See if that works. Now, what will you do if your partner is not willing to, come for help, and they are making it worse? If they come to know that you have gone for help, they beat you up even more. Then what do you do?
So now understand that abuse, the thumb rule is to first escape. So don't get caught with your emotion, and do not be that he is my husband or she is my wife. This should not be known outside. It should be in four walls. So please stop that first. So it is thumb rule is that you should escape from that abuse.
Yeah, your safety is the most important thing, right? What is the point if you're not alive? Something happens and this person becomes overly abusive, and some, unfortunate thing happens. That should never happen. So you need to protect your safety, and for that you need to have a plan to exit, because it's not that the partner is so understanding that they will let you go to your mom's house, right? If they want to trap you, if they want to lock you up, then things can get worse. So you need to plan it in such a way that you can exit without their knowledge.
So I think you should share one of your client or staff, whoever it is, that how she executed. See, normal person who understood that they are in trap. So when we heard a story after what has happened, we acknowledge her and say, told that the nice way to save yourself in that.
Yeah. So this needs to be planned in such a way that your partner, whoever is abusing you, does not know that you're going to leave. Because if they
Yes.
come to know, what
They
if
will not.
they confiscate your things and lock you up? So in that case, you need to plan days in advance. So firstly, I feel you need to plan where do you need to go.
Yes.
Right? Is your parents' house or your friend's house safe? Will they be willing to keep you for months? Because you need to have a safe place that you can go to, where your partner cannot come and take you out. So that is really important to identify. So you need to confide on a few people. You need to tell them that this is what is happening, and get that confidence that they will take care of you if you leave.
So it is before leaving. Okay,
Yeah.
then see that the money is taken care. So see that whatever money you have, because most people will have joint account, all those things. If you're going to take immediately money from that, they will know. So
They
see
will
that
know.
all the other places wherever you have money, say that take all that money in your custody, so that when you're going out, money should not be a problem.
Yeah. And all the important documents like your
Yes,
passport,
your certificates, everything that should be under your control.
Exactly. And I think it's also important to report to the police. For this, I would suggest that, see, your abuse doesn't happen overnight, right? It
Yes,
must have
it's
happened
like,
over months or years. So start gathering evidence. Because tomorrow, if you need to go to the court, you need to submit these things. Even for a police complaint, you need to have some medical report, have these things documented. So start documenting these things, and collecting proof.
So all those things are when you sure that you want to come out of the relationship. Okay, only then all those things. If you think that you are not want to come out of all this relationship and be in that time, it's your job is just go to your mother's house and see that it has not been been so hard on you. So that should be that thing. So when you see that, no, I don't want all those things, only I want you to think like this and execute that energy.
Yeah. For a lot of people, this may look like a movie story, but as Girish said, I have a friend. She got so scared because she was living in a foreign country and her husband was her abuser. So she had to plan things in such a way that when her husband left for office, she caught the flight back to India. So imagine how much of trauma and how much of planning she must have done in order to execute that. Now she is in a much happier place, and she is a single parent and she's doing an excellent job bringing her son up. But if she wasn't that abusive marriage, then I'm really worried if she would have even survived that whole thing.
So after that coming, you can go for therapy or trauma healing. All those things can be happen. But initially, that phase. Now, why we are doing this session is that people who are into this, that time, most of the people, the mind does not work. What to do? They get caught. Now, since now someone is hearing, or you feel that someone into that, you can share this video with them and see that how you can come out of it. So people who have doubts regarding this, I want you to ask questions, because it's not like an normal topic it is. So see that in your heart, see that in a workplace or somewhere, if bosses are abusing and all these things. So now ask questions, so that on this video itself, I can tell you how to come out of it and how to be bold when these situations are happening.
Yeah, sure. And we'll just wrap up this, Girish, then we'll take questions. So I feel if you're in a situation where you don't have any agency, like your husband is confiscated or your wife or whoever has confiscated all your belongings, phone, and you're literally trapped, right? And that's in that scenario. See if you can even ask your domestic help, someone who you can, another human being that you can get in touch with, to call the domestic abuse helpline. Someone will definitely be able to help you, even if you're in that kind of a worse scenario, right?
So here again, it's that you should build yourself, that you should escape. That is the thumb rule always in your mind, that you cannot be abused again and again and again and again. So enough is enough, and we should come out of that energy.
And there is people have reported that when you after you leave the house, after you leave your partner, that is when you can see some behavior changes in them, and they'll come and say that I have now changed. Please believe me. After you left, I have become a different person. Please come back. So what does one do, Girish, in that scenario?
So
do they trust them, or?
See, you should your instinct will say that what is that this relationship, what is went wrong. So see that first, ask them to take therapy. Without therapy, don't go into
Don't
that
trust
and go, because they are sick in the mind. So go for a therapy, and then go for a couple therapy, and see that minimum 6 months you are clear. It's only when abuse, and not when the fight. I don't want you to go out, because it's between you both. But abuse is not like that. Minimum 6 months be away from them, because they should know the pain, and they should know that they cannot make the mind like that. Okay, it's our self respect, that we should see that our mental health is strong. So that is again, that's why we say that have fitness, have regular habits, have do exercise, do yoga, do meditation. Why? To keep your mental stable. So that can you hit someone, so clear, only when your mind is not steady, and we will do all those things. So that's the only reason to we say that keep in time, have gratitude for each other, so that you cannot even touch anyone in that matter.
Sure. And once you decide that this has ended, I want to separate, do it in a professional way. Don't operate out of anger or your emotions. Seek a divorce lawyer's help and do it gracefully as much as possible.
Yes, so that, because for some situation, maybe you have a child. Okay, see that how that can be handled, because again, it's so much of things are there to deal with. It's not about you alone, it is more to deal with the child also. So you should see that the child is being explained. Maybe most of the children are so what do you say, so intelligent. They know that father and mother having a problem, and they know how to escape from that, and when they go to the grandmother's house, they will say that no, father and mother is fighting. The children will say so. Allow them also to express. And so if the children is asking you what is the problem between you and dad, understand that something is fishy is happening between you.
Yeah, children are really smart.
Real, they know very well.
Yeah. We have some great questions coming up, Girish.
Yeah.
The first one is someone has asked, is it abusive if our partner tracks our daily activities and asks so many questions?
Now, see, that is they're not trusting in us. Okay, if for example, if you are going to a movie or you are going out with a friend, I think that it's our responsibility morning to say that I'm going out with my friend. She's came from here or he came from here. So if you can openly tell, then he will ask that time itself where which movie or where you are going. That is over. If he or she is tracking you, you do not have any past record like that. If they're tracking, understand that something there is, that the trust factor is not there. Something is bothering them in the relationship. So this all the signs that they are not trusting. So see that what in between you both, where's the problem it is. What is that you are missing? Because the love is not there. That's why all these things happen. Doubt, not trust. No, relationship is all about trust. So it's tracking means it's not abuse. No, tracking is not abuse. It is like little sickness, or like or some people will be over possessive. So I want to know where you are going, why you are going, all those things. When love is there, all these things will not be there. So you also will say that openly you will discuss, and it will be solved in the same day. If you come to know that they are tracking, you will ask why you are tracking me. What is that? What insecurity you have? Open talk, no, be vulnerable. I think that is not a thing. It's only thing
But
they are
what if
possessing.
this person tracks and then asks questions in a very abusive way?
Now the tracking and abusing, that's why then that is a different thing. So now abusing you, putting you down. So now you should see that why he's reacting that like that. What is that he is? That was talk openly and be vulnerable there, because no one can put you down. Understand that. That's again, this can be a thumb rule in your relationship, your husband or wife. It is that you cannot put anyone down. You should ask, because you have a problem. Ask why you are doing like that. You are answerable, because that's what the relationship is. Marriage is all about. It's an agreement between you two.
Yeah, absolutely. The next question is, if a partner demands the passwords to social media sites and replies to text and emails and calls right away, is it abuse? Like they are taking your phone, they are tracking your password
for
and replying from on your behalf
to whom?
To your friends and contacts on social media. Is that abuse?
Yes, it's an abuse. So it is like
crossing the line.
Yeah. Now, if you see my before videos, Girish is a separate individual. Jyotsna is a separate individual. We are partnered for the marriage, that relationship, not your personal space. Personal space, no one have authority unless we give. For my passport and all this thing, everything more than me, she knows. So anything want to change, she tells and she says that this your password is changed. Okay, that is different. But if you feel that you are kept for you alone, the partner cannot enter into and track, and no one can reply your message to anyone. That is, it's illegally wrong. You cannot message back where it come to someone else message. You don't have that, and if that is doing, again it is, I think it is an abuse.
You need to have a open conversation and see
why you want to check my phone first of all.
Again, it's a trust factor.
Yeah. So that is what you're saying is abuse. You should talk today itself. If you feel that that is happening, please check and ask why you are doing all these things. What you are doubting. What is the insecurity you have? It's all our insecurity. Yeah. Yes.
The other question, Girish, is that instead of our partner, what if our parents, boss, or siblings are abusing us and they are being toxic? What does a person do then?
you should talk. You should get help from, if your father is abusive, inform your mother immediately. Now you're matured enough. Now we are exposed to so many things. I am saying no, we should protect us. That's the only rule that you should understand. That not that's why I told, nothing to do with emotions then, nothing to do with the relationship then. You should know that you are hurt and no one can abuse you. If you think that, then you will not allow this to happen. So you should complain.
What
Again,
if
it's,
the mom protects the dad?
I'm not getting.
If suppose the dad is the abusive one and you go and complain to the mom, but mom says, no, dads are always like that. So in that case, you can't get help from your parents, right?
So again, that's what I'm saying. No, first you should understand why this is happening in your life. It's not that everyone are being abused like this. So why it is happening? What is the space I'm giving to my parents to come into that space and take? It's like no one, even a 8-year-old child. Now I have a 9-year-old child. I cannot abuse her. I cannot tell that do this. I can tell politely. And if it is not, these values are different and all these things, then it is different. So no one can, even though schools are very strict, you cannot beat anyone. Even teacher cannot, the children. I remember when I was in the school, teachers will slap. No one is there to ask. So nowadays, if it teachers are slap, they have been thrown out of the school.
So even for children with abusive parents, there is child helpline.
Yes.
Children can tell their friends can tell their friends' parents, and they can help. If you're an adult, then you have the agency to stay away from parents who are being toxic.
Yes.
Right? So that power is there with you. One last question, Girish.
Yes.
How should we deal if the abuse is verbal?
Okay.
I think that is emotional.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Verbal. It's, see, it is like it will hit you, and when you sleep, it keep on coming. So again, it's a verbal abuse. Now understand that no one have rights to take away your happiness. Understand that. When you feel that they don't have the authority, immediately get up and make them to get up also and say, ask them apology. Okay, ask them straight. Tell me sorry. You cannot use verbal abuse on me, and you have no rights to do that. So now you should take that and understand that he is like that or she is like that. Next, what is next? Complain to the parents and see that, or go to a therapist and say that my wife is like this, or my husband is like that. What should I do? Then they will explain you how to deal with that. Okay, all those things are not good for our mental growth, and not good for our emotional growth, not good for our spiritual growth. So now understand that we are a spiritual being, so we cannot be questioned or put down at any situation in our life. First, when we understand that, when we love ourselves more, we will not allow all these things happen in our relationship.
So the last and the final question is that what if the boss is the one who's doing verbal abuse? I think this is the easiest to handle because firstly, you're not married to the boss. So it's first thing you complain. Like when I used to work in the corporate, we have seen a lot of these cases. The person would first complain to the HR department. Every decent company has a HR policy, especially to protect against abuse.
And nowadays, the men and women both are being abused. You cannot say like that.
You can't threaten them. You can't say, if you do this favor only, I will give you promotion. Nothing of that is allowed.
Now social media is immediately everything has been that.
You can expose that person. First, I would say that collect evidence and expose that person. And the best thing is, that's not the only company in the world, right? So have the mindset that you have the skill to get employed elsewhere.
Anywhere across the globe, it is like that. Okay,
you don't have to take any nonsense from anyone.
So say no to abuse. That's it. That should be our thumb rule, and that should be what we should educate to our children also and friends also, so that over a period of time we can totally eradicate this abuse from the whole system itself.
Great, guys. We love doing this. Especially when we're not at home also, you guys are there, so that makes us do this week on week. So we'll see you next week with yet another episode of Love Bites Live. In the meanwhile, if any of you or your friends need support from Girish, head over to humanconnect.in/apply, fill out the form, book a free clarity call with Girish, and take your life to the next level.
Love you all. Thank you. Bye.